Okay, hey everyone, my name is Masterstarman. I'm actually going to be doing an entirely different recording session of the Pit of 100 Trials, because I actually ended up having a failed attempt on, like, floor 30-something, and after that I pretty much rage quit it because I was, like, 20 minutes worth of work that I didn't really want to have to redo. But anyways, if you take on this kid's, well, to take on this kid's trial, you need to go down to floor 18. Now, I guess I could briefly go over what the Pit of 100 Trials is like. On every floor here, as you can see here, it says level 1. There's 100 levels in total, as I'm sure it's pretty obvious. On every floor, you'll often have to face at least one enemy, and there's always certain occurrences that can occur within these enemies. And by the way, I actually de-equipped a few badges. I found out that I, for whatever reason, had Quick Hammer equipped, which I took off, and I also took off, Mega Rush and Ice Power and put on Power Plus instead. Now, on every floor, you'll have random occurrences with these battles here, depending on, like, there's, like, 5 or 6 set different, like, 5 or 6 different set ways how you can get into these, or you can do these fights here, but other than that, like, there really isn't much else to say about this place. On every 10th floor, you're going to be able to get some badges through this. I'm going to try and go off muscle memory, what I can remember from these things here. Floor 10, I believe, is Sleep Stomp. Floor 20 is, Fire Drive, which is a hammer badge that's the opposite element of Ice Smash, and I don't know how that was a first strike, and yeah, you're gonna be kind of annoying with that pretty lucky partner badge. And using multi-bounce is also a really nice idea in this pit as well. Especially if you have a lot of power in this. Like, I have a fairly decent number of power for this point in the game, but if you have a lot of power, like, I'm talking like power, like, pretty much Danger Mario, you can just sweep this entire pit. Ah, come on now. Okay, fine. Floor 30 is actually one of the best badges in the game. It's the Zapped Hat badge, which gives you electricity status, which basically means fuzzies can't touch you at all, and like, any enemies on physical contact will just take you, recoil, and there'll also be, enemies like fuzzies, which can only attack via physical contact. They can't do anything at all to you. So that's really nice to know. And it also lets you jump on electrified enemies, which we're actually going to start running into some of those in the next chapter, so it's nice to have something like that to cover against them. What else was there? Floor 40, I believe, has a badge called Pity Flower, which, I think often makes it so that whenever you, take damage, like, you recover FP or something like that. Something like that, I don't know, I never really used that kind of a badge, but it's something like that, anyway, all I know for a fact. Floor 50 has an item, which is what I actually want to be going down to, because it's a really nice item that you can get from it. And floor 60 and 70 are just double dip and double dip partner badges. Nothing else to really say about that. Floor 80 is a badge called Bump Attack, which is a pretty nice, actually no, Bump Attack, I believe, is just a badge that, if you use it, I believe it, like, I don't know what it does, something about first strikes, maybe, like, ends battles quickly if it's a weak enemy and you get a first strike or something like that. It's a good badge, but you get it fairly late in the game. Or no, I think it might, like, I'm looking this up. This is driving me crazy. Okay, yeah, I was right about that. You defeat, weaker enemies just by walking into them. So, basically, you would avoid need for fighting enemies like these here, as long as they give off, like, no experience like these guys do here. So, it's an all-around really nice badge if you want to go back through the pit a second time, but other than that, it's not a terrific badge. And it doesn't work in boss fights either, because, not for spoilers or anything, but some of the later on bosses are kind of cheap and they only give you like 1 star point for beating them. It's a major tease that this game does. Floor 90 is actually an incredibly good badge called Lucky Day, which I'm sure you can all remember from my original Paper Mario LP. I mentioned it. It was the badge you got in the letter fetch side quest in the original Paper Mario game. It's a really good badge. It makes it so that enemies pretty commonly miss you. I don't know what the exact chance is, but actually I'm pretty sure I can find that soon now that I think about it, so okay, it doesn't really say like a percent chance, it just says like more frequently than the Pretty Lucky badge, which is really nice. Problem, you get it way too late into this place. Floor 90? I don't see myself using it in this. I won't see myself using it in this run, but I will definitely be using it when I go to do the optional boss in this area, because there is actually a boss in this area, and I say it's optional because you don't actually have to come here. But the boss in this area, he's really tough. Let me just put it at that. And you fight him on floor 100, and when you fight him, he gives you a badge called Return Postage, which actually is a really nice badge. And it basically makes direct contactors do half the damage that they did to Mario. Anyways, was there actually a... Yeah, it seems like Vivian has some really weird texturing going on with the lower half of her body there. That's kind of strange. Why it's doing that? It's probably with the different, like, shadings in areas here. That's kind of strange. Anyways, this guy here, he's actually kind of a shopper. Or, he's a shop guy. Now, he sells some items for some really expensive prices, and they get really expensive later on. Like, you might be paying, like, 50 coins for a regular mushroom or something like that later on. But it's your only real opportunity to heal up in this place, other than what items you might already have. So, in a time like this, you might want to consider him. He may sound bankrupt, but he's actually a really great idea. Now we have Pokies, which actually caused me a bit of trouble because I wasn't able to one-shot them with multi-bounce previously. Although I am now, and that's what the good thing about it is. Anyways, I think that I'm pretty much, like, done going over most of the stuff in the pit. So, I think I'm actually going to start speeding up now. I'm going to speed up to floor 18 so I can show off that little secret thing. Oh, by the way, there's also another gimmick here. You may also run into these mouse guys around the pit, which will actually send you down for money. They can send you down one floor, or 3 floors, or like 5 floors or something like that. I think that's how it works anyways. And Bobber can't do anything with these. I think Mario can finish these guys off. Yep, he can. Okay, so I guess speed up time now. Nothing else I really need to say. Okay, when you're finally down to floor 18 and you talk to this guy here. Well, who are you? Wow, did you come here just to save me? Really? Pine Anti Jr.? Good, I have to get back alive. Show me the way out. Now this guy will basically follow you until you get to the 20th floor, which is only 2 more floors from here. Now basically, if this idiot could not charge at me as fast as he could... Oh well, it's just these 2 stupid losers. Actually, if I had attacked the Cloud guy, I could have probably beaten them out both without taking any, or without using any FP there, but whatever. FP conservation isn't exactly one of my major things when going through this area. Anyways, now that we've done that, if we talk to, well, if we head to the next floor first, we'll be able to get to floor 20, and there's another guy here. Now, this guy's prices, I believe, should be a lot higher, if I'm not mistaken. These guys' prices are usually a lot higher. Yeah, as you can see, it was originally 10 coins for a mushroom, and now it's 15. So this guy gets rather expensive as the game progresses, so just keep that in mind, because this guy can become pretty vital, although very cheap later on in the pit because of how expensive he becomes. Anyways, back to music time, I guess. Okay, that is just cheap, game. That is just fucking cheap! What the heck? What? What? Oh my god! I was recording that for like 20 goddamn minutes! I'm doing the pit off camera now, at this point. You gotta be kidding me! Seriously! I'll off-screen this. I'm off-screening this. I'll be right back, everyone. Alright, and when we're here on floor 50, there's one quick thing I want to check somewhere. Okay, I guess we have to do this literally during the quest, which is stupid and very annoying that there was a quest that also needed you to come all the way here, because I'm up to 50 minutes of recording this right now. And here, if I can examine it, you get the strange sack, an item that lets you hold up to 20 items. Very, very helpful item, indeed. Now, here's a prime example of when I said items could get really expensive here. 120 coins for a maple syrup. Like, for a Thunder Rage, I might be able to see why that might be a decent, not, like, terrible value, I guess, but still. Anyways, I'm just gonna be exiting here. And when we talk to these guys here, this guy actually gives you a silver card, which lets you play the paper mode game at the Pianta Parlor, which is actually a really good thing, in my opinion. Now, we're actually not going to be done with our troubles for today, no. We're doing more than this pit. Let me just put it at that, although I'm up to a really high amount of time limit for my recording right now. We're not done with the pit yet. There's still one other place I want to go to, and I'm gonna off-screen when I get up to the surface. Wait, no. Oh, shoot. I should probably do this. This is an easy way to get back into the surface. I should have probably... I thought I realized that I didn't actually do this yet. After this chapter. That's where our next crystal star is appearing. Location of a crystal star was recorded on your magical map. Right, let's pop that on that professor fellow.